Your Facebook ads are running, but Meta is missing 30 to 50% of your actual sales right now. iOS ad blockers and expired cookies are silently cutting your data before it ever reaches Meta. Conversion API fixes this. Let me show you the professional setup. In the previous video, we set up Meta Pixel on Shopify using Google Tag Manager. That's browser-side tracking. Today, we are adding the missing page server-side tracking through Conversion API. If you haven't watched the Pixel setup video yet, link in the description. Let's build it. For server-side tracking needs two new tools. First, a GTM server container. We already have a web container from the last video. Now we add a server container next to it. Second, Stape. Stape is a server hosting platform. It runs your GTM server container and handles the connection between your Shopify store and Meta through your own first-party subdomain. Together, these give you complete server-side tracking. Let's set them up. Go to tagmanager.google.com, open the same GTM account we used for the web container. Click the gear icon, admin, then click create container. Give it to your container name, then select the server. After that, select create. A GTM will show you a container config. It's a long encoded string. Copy this, we will paste it into Stape in the next step. Now go to step.io, link in the description, click sign up, create your account. Once you are in, click create container or new GTM container hosting. Container name, give it to your brand name or business name. Container configuration, paste the GTM container config we just copied from a GTM. This links your GTM server container to Stape. Server location. Choose the region closest to where most of your customers are. For US based, pick a US region. After that, click create container. Your Stape server is now running. Now we need to upgrade to Pro. Pro plan is required for custom subdomain setup. Without it, first-party tracking is not possible. Once upgraded, you will see your container setting, path, with your container config, a GTM container ID, and container identifier all confirmed. A GTM server and Stape are ready. Now let's set up your custom subdomain. In your Stape dashboard, go to subdomain, then tagging server URLs. Click add a subdomain. For the subdomain name, I am using a GTM. You can use any prefix, just keep it natural. Avoid pixel or tracking. Ad blockers detect those. For CDN, choose Stape Global CDN. It's load your script faster through Cloudflare. After that, select Next. Stape now gives you two CNAME records. Now go to your domain register wherever your domain is hosted. Could be Hostinger, GoDaddy, Namecheap, Cloudflare. Doesn't matter. The flow is the same in every panel. Find the DNS records at both CNAME records exactly as Stape shown them. Once added, come back to Stape and click Verify. DNS propagation takes 10 minutes to 72 hours. When you see green ready status, your subdomain is live. Let's keep moving. As you can see, my domain is verified and it's ready for Conversion API. In the Stape dashboard, click Power Ups. You will see Custom Loader at the top, marked as recommended. Click Configure. In the domain section, select your subdomain. Here is web GTM ID, enter here your Google Tag Manager web container ID. Enable enhanced ad blocker protection. This adds encoding to all requests sent you to your server. Makes tracking more resistant to ad blockers. Platform select other, then select the generate. Stape gives you two code snippets. Copy the first script, the head section script. We'll paste into Shopify data layer. Now go to Shopify admin, customer events, custom pixel. In the code section, you will see the existing GTM script. We need to replace this with the custom loader script from Stape. Select the entire code, remove and paste here the copied code. And you can see here is showing the two errors. We need to remove the script to end Google Tag Manager. Notice the new script loads from your custom subdomain load.hgtm.mydomain, not google-tag-manager.com domain. This is what makes everything first party. After that, select the connect, and the Shopify data layer is connected with first party custom domain to our website. Now we add the non-script body code. Go to online store themes, click the three dots on your theme, select edit code. Open theme.liquid, then scroll to the very bottom, find the closing body tag. Paste the non-script code from each step just before the closing body tag. Then select save. Now back to GTM, open the web container. The variables and triggers we set up in the previous video are already here. We are not touching those. What we are adding now, data tags. DT standards for data tag from step. This sends event data from the browser to your step server container. Click tags. I have already created all the data tags for this setup. Let me open the purchase to show you exactly how it's configured. In the data tag form step.io, in the event name is standard purchase. GTM server-side URL, this points to your custom subdomain. Add common cookie enabled. This helps you consistent user identification across sessions. Event data selection, meta content IDs, meta contents, currency value transaction ID, event ID, items, coupon, all mapped from data layer variables. In the user data section, here is the email, city, county, first name, last name, region, postal code, user ID. It's called external ID, the phone number, all mapped from the data layer variables. In the trigger section, same purchase trigger we use for the metapixel tag. Other data tags, DT, add to cart, view content, initiate checkout, add payment info, follow the exact same structure. Difference event names, same setup. This tag is what sends the complete event package to your step server. Now switch to server container URL. Notice the server container looks different from the web containers. It has clients, transformation, tags, triggers, and variables. This is where conversion API lives. Click variables. Two types of variables here. First, constant meta conversion API token, the metapixel ID, the meta test event code. This metapixel ID, this holds your pixel ID. To get your conversion API access token, go to Meta Events Manager, click your pixel. Then select the settings, scroll down to conversion API, click generate access tokens. Copy it, paste into the constant meta conversion API token variable in your server container. Then select save. Second, event data variables, this start with ed first name, ed last name, city, country, postal code, phone number, region, event ID, value, currency, transaction ID, and more. This read data from the incoming request sent by the data tags in the web container. The server picks up exactly what the browser sent, forwards it to Meta. Now click triggers. Each trigger here is a custom event, which one important filter, client name contains data client. This is critical. It means the trigger only fires when the event comes from a step data client. So DC purchase fires only when the purchase event arrives specifically for the step data tag we set up in the web container. This prevents accidental firing and keep your data clean. Now click the tags. All tag here use Facebook Conversion API as the tag type. These are the tags that send data to Meta server side. Let me open Meta Purchase to show you the configuration. The tag type is Facebook Conversion API. Event name setup override. Event type is standard purchase. action source website. There is the API access token, the constant metapixel ID, the constant test event code. After test your meta conversion API, you can remove here the test event code. Generate FBP cookie enable event enhancement enable. Server event data override, map event ID to our event ID variable. This is what enables deduplication. In the user data section, first name, last name, email, country, CTG, phone, state, and here is the external ID. All mapped from event data variables. The tag automatically hashes all of this before sending to Meta. In the custom data section, content IDs contains value currency order ID. All mapped. Trigger DC purchase. Other tags, view content, add to cart, initiate checkout follow the same structure, different event names. Now publish both containers. In the web container section, click the submit and enter here any version name. Select publish. In the server container, select the submit. Enter here again any version name. Both containers are now live. Let's verify. Go to Meta Events Manager, open your pixel, click test event. Open your Shopify store in another tab. Go through the full customer journey, product page, add to cart, checkout, complete the purchase. After completed the purchase, now look at the meta test events. For every event, you will see two lines, one from browser, another for server. It says multiple for every event. That means browser and server are both firing. Now expand the purchase tag. Look at what meta received. Value currency, content IDs, content type, contents, content name, and order ID. All correct. User data case, country, city, email, external ID, browser ID, first name, IP address, churn name, county, user ID, and postal code. Everything is coming through. This is what pushes your event mesh quality above 9. A basic setup sends the event. This setup sends the event plus full product data plus complete customer data through your own first-party domain with server backup and clean deduplication. That's the difference between guessing and knowing. Before we wrap up, let me show you what this setup looks like in production. This is the event manager overview for a real use-based supplement brand running meta ads. Same exact stack we just built. All events are active, multiple integration on every event. That's the browser and server both firing together. Look at the event mesh quality, page view, view content, add to cart, check out the purchase, add payment info and search. Some show update recommended. That's normal at this stage. The customer hasn't entered their name, email or address yet. They are just browsing. Meta has limited data to mess with. Now look at the purchase, 8.0 out of 10. This is where it matters. The customer has completed the order, email, name, phone, address, all of it gets sent with the purchase event. Meta makes a strong match. 8.0 is not a fixed number. It moves between 8 and 9 depending on how much customer data Meta can match at the moment. Sitting consistently between 8 and 9 for purchase is exactly what you want. That is what accurate tracking looks like. Now if you want to know how much data your store is actually losing right now, I offer a free tracking audit. I will look at your current setup, tell you exactly what's broken and show you what is costing you. No piece, just data. The link in the description. See you in the next one.